She's married to Ben McKenzie now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is it with co-stars marrying each other all
They
the
spend
time?
all the time together. Why
So?
wouldn't you?
Like the Prince Charming and Snow White and
Yes.
Once Upon a Time are actually married in real life.
They're married and have
It's
a kid
just weird.
together.
It's kind of creepy. But we don't have... The X-Men movies come out, and we're introduced to...
But even then, they totally downplay Storm and Jean Grey to make Hugh Jackman look like a total badass.
Yeah.
Well, Storm does get at least one badass moment in the original X-Men.
Well, yeah, whenever she flings freaking Toad over out of
And
the...
she says
Statue of Liberty.
like the dumbest line ever.
Yeah, but that's the genre at the time. It's one-liner, little quips and shit like that.
Yeah. But that was like her only thing. Like we knew nothing about her. She had very few speaking parts. Like she was very much kind of like in the background for most of that movie.
So then, would you say that out of all those movies, that Rebecca Romijn's portrayal of Mystique was powerful?
I would say yes. I mean, even though, like, yeah, she was doing bidding for Magneto, but she did it because she believed in his cause.
And then they dookied all over that whenever he shot her with the dart and walked away from her.
Bryan Singer is still on my shit list forever because of that movie.
What, Last Stand?
Yeah.
He
Where
didn't
she's in
direct it, though.
after they free Juggernaut.
And
He didn't direct that movie.
Or shit.
Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner's on my shit list. Bryan Singer's fine for now.
For now.
But Brett Ratner is forever fucked because of Last Stand.
Well, everybody hates
Awful
Brett Ratner because of that.
bullshit. Oh my god.
And they downplay Jean Grey and just make her seem like some troubled youth that's 35 years old.
I was literally, I was like, how old is Famke Janssen?
She's like 50 in those movies, dude.
Oh
Still,
man, she does
whatever.
not look youthful at all.
She's beautiful. Beautiful.
but not youthful.
But you go from co-starring in the movie with the dude that plays Happy, Maid, when she's like Happy's, what's his name? Jon Favreau's girlfriend / hooker girlfriend, who, I don't know. But you go from that,
Oh, I was
and
thinking
she's like
Goldeneye.
35, and then she goes and she plays Jean Grey, and she's even older then.
Oh,
It's like, what
I
the
was thinking
fuck?
Xenia Onatopp in Goldeneye.
Oh no, is she in Goldeneye?
She was Xenia Onatopp. She was the girl who
Shit,
tried
she
to
was.
smother him with her fucking thighs.
Yeah, that's
She
right.
strangles people by crushing their ribs with her thigh.
No, their heads.
What?
She tries to crush his head with her thighs.
Damn right she does.
No, but then the guy earlier, she lifts him up and like
Oh, yeah.
squeezes his ribs with her legs.
It's one way to go, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh my god, I forgot.
I'm not gonna lie,
about
Pierce
that.
Brosnan got some of the craziest freaking Bond girls, though. Dear God.
I love the Denise Richards cameo thing in 30 Rock. She's like, I don't know why everyone keeps saying I'm an idiot. I played a nuclear psychologist in a James Bond movie.
Psychologist.
Anyways, so back to our topic, but
Yeah, Jean Grey, probably not the best casting for Jean Grey, but then again, neither is Little Miss Winter.
Sophie Turner.
Winterfell.
Oh God, it's Sansa Stark is who it is.
Yes,
but
it's a Stark.
I can't think of her last.
Sophie Turner.
Sophie Turner. Okay, I was right.
Yeah, Sophie Turner also is not a great choice.
Maisie Williams is going to play Wolfsbane
Yep,
in the New Mutants.
that'll be fun. I love Maisie Williams.
They're
Yeah,
going
I
to do
like
a
her.
horror movie
Really?
because the storyline they're going to do is the Demon Bear.
So they're gonna do the giant bear running through the hospital and shit?
I guess.
That'll be awesome.
But Maisie Williams is fun and charismatic, and she can pull off like a weird character like Wolfsbane.
Yeah, they did
Whereas-
concept art of her as Wolfsbane. It looked really good.
Whereas
Sophie
Sophie
Turner.
Turner does not have the acting potential to be such a big and complex character like Jean Grey and
Yeah.
pull off something like the Phoenix.
Hopefully we're wrong with the new movie and stuff, but I'm not holding my
I don't
breath.
know. I really
With-
like Ty
with-
Sheridan as Cyclops personally.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
with these
He was
X-Men
definitely one
movies,
of the best parts.
I
I like
just
that.
don't want Jennifer Lawrence anymore. I want her to
She's
go
done. I
back.
don't think
She's
she's
done.
Yeah, she's not coming back.
Oh my god.
She's done.
Mystique can only take so many beatings from losing her powers and then having
Well, and-
fucking Jennifer Lawrence play her. It's
I
like,
liked
ugh.
Nicholas Holt as Beast, but I felt like he got underutilized in about every one of
And
the
his
movies.
makeup was terrible.
Yeah,
It was,
he was
but-
his character was basically neutered. It's like, why bother with him?
But I liked Nicholas Holt as Beast, though. Sadly enough, like he plays Hank McCoy very well, but I think as Beast he needed some.
because first
CGI.
class,
They needed some
Yeah,
CGI. is
Kelsey
what they
Grammer
needed.
looked more like Beast than he did.
And he was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Especially that fight scene.
That's
That was the best
true.
part of that fucking movie. Was Kelsey Grammer kicking ass.
That's
It's like,
true.
holy shit,
Frasier?
Frasier, chill the fuck out, man. Damn. But
He's having flashbacks. Fuck you, Niles.
We need you to get really angry first. So think of something, and then like a voice in the smile. It's like Niles.
That or it's Sam from Cheers.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You stole her from me.
It was my Oscar. It was my year. Oh, it's so good.
So yeah, we don't have a strong representation until, I mean, as some at this table would argue, a woman that did everything in Black Widow, and some others at this table
Well, I
would
would
argue
say
that
Michelle
was a
Pfeiffer
tag-along.
was a strong.
I think Michelle Pfeiffer was the last strong female that we had out of anything, because we had the completely just disgusting portrayal of Poison Ivy by Uma Thurman in
Well,
film.
what about Vicky Vale in '89 Batman?
No,
Well, she's a fucking reporter. Who cares?
I guess that's true.
I mean,
And not to mention that, but I love bats. Oh, come on, bitch. Nobody gives a shit.
who said that?
She does.
She does. She gets like aroused by bats.
Oh, and then there's Nicole Kidman, who's like stupid
Even
horny
worse.
the entire
Yeah.
movie.
Well, let's be
And
honest.
Elle McPherson.
Who?
And Elle McPherson, she was in Batman and Robin,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
the girlfriend.
And we forgot about another woman from Batman and Robin. Alicia Silverstone.
Oh God, Batgirl.
You've forgotten about her.
Uncle Alfred, I want to be a
Oh, they just
superhero too.
shit all over that story, man.
Batman
Oh,
and Robin got fucked. The only good part of that
Oh.
was literally Batman not using his fist to save Alfred, like by beating the hell out of Mr. Freeze and
Yeah.
just being like, "You could do something good."
I don't know, oh god, I love Poison Ivy though.
Not that one.
I know, but she's like the only thing I have on the big screen that's Ivy.
What about
And even-
Mr. Freeze fans until Gotham? They got Arnold. I mean, they got the Terminator meets.
There's a difference between Ivy and Freeze is a guy, and they're more likely to use a guy than a female villain.
I'm really mad they used his tragic backstory for the sole fact that like they then shit on it repeatedly with ice puns.
Oh yeah, but that's
Well,
just the nature of
But
the
underneath all the ice puns, I mean, that storyline was there, and they
Yeah.
didn't do that much, and that injustice wasn't done. That they eliminated his goals of being a villain and doing what he does. So yeah, I mean, underneath all the camp and the weirdness, there's still some value
Why are
there.
we talking about Mr. Freeze?
That's true. So I do agree though.
It's
I
his
think
fault because
I
I
think-
said I haven't seen Ivy, and you're like, but what about the men? So shut the hell up, Cody.
no, I just said what about the Mr. Freeze fans? Doesn't mean what about the men.
Fuck him.
40 minutes later.
No, what I want to know is, I mean, I honestly think, the last strong female portrayal representation probably is Michelle Pfeiffer.
But even Michelle Pfeiffer was more of like she's just some kind of like crazy girl next door who ends up getting the even crazier guy.
But
No,
she,
No, the last strong female that we had before we get to Wonder Woman is Al Ghul
oh,
Talia.
yeah,
and Nolan. But then Nolan kind of, in the same movie,
Ruined it?
ruined it with Catwoman.
How so?
She was terrible.
You didn't like her?
Sexy as shit. Do not get me wrong. When she straddles that motorcycle,
Oh come on!
oh come on, man,
Really?
sexy. But
But I
he
liked
takes-
how
he
she.
contrasts a powerful character in Talia al Ghul and pairs it with a half try. I would have rather seen Halle Berry's Catwoman in that movie. Come on, man, and that's not even a great movie. It's
as a god awful movie.
kind of terrible, but not that
Kind
movie.
of
Not that movie. I'm
terrible.
talking about the Batman one.
oh, Dark
Oh,
Knight
Dark
Rises.
Knight Rises.
Bane. Oh shit! This is a Bane.
Still holding out for a Bane shader or Tom Hardy
Injustice.
Bane mask in
Mask.
Injustice.
That'd be fun.
No, I just think that all
But
around
it's Tom Hardy's
they
voice
really
sometimes.
haven't.
And it's just you have subtitles so you can read it.
Yeah, and even then it's like partially scrambled.
Something, just something.
Yeah,
They told Chris Nolan to go back and they need to dub it because no one could understand him. And Chris Nolan's like, I can understand it. It's like, yeah, because you wrote the goddamn thing.
Yeah, you know what lines are coming, but whatever. That's beside the point. But Al Ghul, I think that was probably the last strong female we had until we get this Wonder Woman movie, because up until now we've had. Okay, all right. What about Ant-Man?
ooh, I didn't think about that.
Who-
Hope,
Daddy issues?
Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah, but she's a badass.
Yeah, she does kick the shit out of Paul Rudd. And I mean, that's one thing I'm excited for, is I want to see her as Wasp.
And we will.
And that's actually, is that the first or second one? Is that coming out before or after Captain Marvel?
After, I think.
Okay, so
I think.
I thought it was before. I don't know.
Well, I think they're the same year. I think they're both 2019.
well, either way, that's the only time we're actually going to have a woman listed on a movie marquee in the
For MCU.
for the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it took them
Well,
19
in the
movies?
MCU's defense, the MCU is not built on a base of Trinity, where one of those people is a female lead.
But
Whereas
I'm
DC
saying,
is.
But I'm saying they've had, God knows, 18 movies roughly? And you mean to tell me not anywhere in those 18 movies they could have found one female hero to make a movie out of until now?
Yeah, it's because women are weak.
They're traditionally seen as weak, is what he's trying to say in his dickish way.
Okay, but this is 2015.
I get
Or
that.
actually, back then, it was 2012.
Well, what about...
That's when the Avengers
well,
came out. I'm saying...
I wouldn't say overly strong. I was going to say Scarlet Witch, but even then, she's
No.
just
She
got a
can't
lot
hold a
of...
movie on her own?
No, and she's freaking being tracked by Vision. Come on, man. If it wasn't for Hawkeye, she would have never gotten out of that apartment. I don't care how strong she is. And not to mention that, but she contains the blast and throws it into a building, and then she's all sad about it. Grow the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow. I see her as a tag-along with great martial arts skills, but you put her up against anybody that is superpowered, because they don't bring in the Super Soldier Serum into the MCU, which she has in comic books. You know, a
Yeah.
small dose of Super Soldier Serum to make her just OP as shit with her fighting abilities. And so she's kind of like the Avengers secretary who tries to keep the peace.
What... So do we want to bring in, besides movies, do we want to bring in the superhero shows? And
We could.
Yeah,
If it-
name a strong female character in a superhero show right now.
Alex Danvers.
That's it. She's a cop, but she's not a superhero.
I was
not
going
a
to
cop,
say
she's a
Jessica
secret agent.
Jones.
No. She likes to fuck and drink way too much whiskey.
Yeah, it's not.
Both weaknesses in populace eyes.
What about Claire Temple? She's not a superhero, but
She's badass.
she's badass and she's very strong. She does pretty much everything on her own.
Season 1 Supergirl. CW neutered her so bad with everything being romance, and that's a really good thing to bring up, is that we had season 1 of Supergirl that I know, but you have this weird thing with female superheroes. You have season 1 of Supergirl.
He's talking to me.
Yeah. Well, both of you really.
He doesn't.
I know, I'm just but you, James, specifically have this thing with female superheroes that you're like super, super picky. But with
I should be.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Finish up real fast.
Supergirl season 1, there were a lot of complex issues to deal with. None of them were really. There was one overlying romance plot with her and Jimmy, but it didn't steal focus from the show.
And it never came to fruition.
And it never came to fruition because it left CBS and went to CW.
And Win.
Well, not
She had that triangle kind of.
It wasn't
deal
really a
going on.
triangle because she told Wynn from the start that
I was
she
to
didn't
say
like
it was
like
more.
that.
It was more
But
of.
he was still into her.
That's fine.
It's a triangle wherein.
But
one
what
of the
I
people
liked about it is that it
unaware
wasn't-
of said triangle.
It wasn't. But even with that situation, it was handled better than what it would have been with the CW, because it didn't take it wasn't overly dramatic. It was just Wynn was upset. She gave him space, and the next day he was like, "Okay, I've grown up. I've
Let me
matured."
ask you this question about season 1 of Supergirl. What
Okay.
was your biggest holy shit moment of that entire season?
I know where you're going with this.
What was it?
It was Martian Manhunter,
Boom.
but that doesn't necessarily make Kara any weaker.
But it makes the show and the message of the show and the power of her as a superhero less, because it takes away from her as a focus.
What about her beating Superman?
She doesn't beat Superman.
Yeah, she does.
The fuck does she beat Superman?
Season 2.
We're talking about season 1.
Right. I'm just saying, I'm clarifying for you that she beat up Superman in season 2.
When did she beat up Superman in season 2?
Like the second or third to last episode? When he was being mind controlled by Silver Kryptonite?
But it's the idea. I think with James, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think for James, he's picking